Hello violinists, welcome to Prime Strings. I'm Henriette and this is lesson 57 in the violin class for beginners course, and today we're going to play a 2-octave A major scale. If you play from a green book, you can find that on page 29 and it's called exercise 116. This exercise does not appear in the red book, so as we've come across more often in this course, I'll put a link to where you can find that music in the description below. That is if you want to read what these notes look like, but I'm sure you can follow this course as well without the music. Now when we play an A major scale, it has 3 sharps for its key signature: an F sharp, a C sharp and a G sharp, and it is the C sharp and the G sharp on the G and D strings that we're going to explore in a little bit more detail today. What happens to your fingers is when I play a C sharp on the G string, my third finger gets raised. In other words, there is now a space between fingers 2 and 3 on the G string. And there is also the same amount of space between fingers 2 and 3 when we play the third finger on the D string as well. So let's go straight in and let's play this. I'm going to go super slow just to give you time to adjust your fingers. We're starting on the first finger on G. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Here comes your raised third finger. Now let's play an open D string. And here it comes again, a raised third finger. Let's play the open A string now. Now we're playing a normal third finger, so this third finger on the A string comes right next to the second finger. Can you see that? Carry on 3. Open E. And now we're playing the third finger on E, close to the second finger as well. Add your fourth finger now. And we're going all the way down again. Second. Now comes that raised third finger on the D string again. Open D. And raise your third finger on the G string. Lovely stuff, really well done. So all the second fingers in this piece, they're all the same all the time on all 4 strings, but the third fingers on G and D are wider there. However, on the A string and the E string, my third fingers are in the same position as where they've always been. Now just to round this scale off really nicely at the top, I'm adding a 4th finger. So just at the top, play your 4th finger. All the other open strings, for me you can play with open strings, although in your book, if you've got a green book, it will be indicated as a 4th finger, but it's already quite challenging as it is, so don't worry, you can just play open strings when they come. Shall we just practice that again? Now this time, I want you to go over your footwork, and I want you to think about stepping forwards with your left foot, so you get that little wiggle forwards and backwards, and we can check now also that your legs aren't locked, your knees aren't locked I should say. So that is our basic stance that we want to get back now. Check over your finger line also, your thumb and your tennis ball. Now when we play our fingers in a moment, I would like you to aim to play on your fingertips, and also I want you to aim to play in the center of the pad at the tip of your fingers. So be careful that you don't play your fingers on the side. Sometimes I see this, particularly on the E string. See if you can find your fingertip in the middle and place it in the middle on the string, so that if you have a mark on your fingers, and I don't know if you can see this, I've given you an example now of what's not right, but you can maybe, just maybe, you can see that my fingertips have got lines right in the middle. Can you see that? So that means that you set your fingertip precisely in the center on the string, and that is what we're heading towards. So let's play this scale now, starting first finger on the G string, 3, 4, awesome, very well done. If you get that going, super. You have to be patient to learn these new techniques, and if you are a little bit patient, then it will come quite soon. You will find that. Now, I'm assuming that you get to grips with this all right. How can you still improve it? Let's think about a couple of things that you might double check in your playing. First of all, and this is a really pet project of mine, you know I talk about it all the time, and that is the straight bowing. So instead of playing your A, for instance, here, your arm shouldn't go to the side, your arm should go forwards, so that you get really nice straight bow strokes. Especially when you play slowly, as we are doing today, you may have a little bit of brain space to actually double check that your bowings are perfectly straight. So that's one aspect on which you might be able to improve in this lesson. Another thing is to try and leave your fingers on the strings while you've played them. So I see this sometimes. And this is particularly risky when you play that raised third finger with no other reference point on the string. So you always want to aim to leave those fingers down so that you play every finger in relation to at least one other finger. If you can leave both fingers down, so you play fingers 1, 2 and 3 on the string, so you leave both first and second fingers down when you play finger number 3, you improve what I call the geography of the fingerboard. So you start to feel much better where the third finger is in relation to fingers 1 and 2. And that's going to stand you in good stead in future when the music might be getting a little bit more challenging. So leave your fingers down wherever you can. You might even, if you come from the top and you play down this scale and you go like this, fingers down before you play the third finger. And so on. You see, so I'm always preparing and having as many fingers as possible on the strings at this stage in your playing. Later on you might deliberately want to lift your fingers off, but we're not in the business of thinking too far ahead at the moment. Leave your fingers down is our golden rule at this stage, so well done. Now for those of you who have got a green book, you will probably have spotted that this song has got an accompaniment. So what we're going to try and do today again is to play this as a little duet. And I want you to play the long notes at the top line, the scale as we've played it. And it doesn't matter if it's early days, so you might save this go for later. Once you have fully practiced this piece a few more times, then play it with a duet. But for those of you who can already play this, let's see if we can work this out as a duet. Now your part is going to go at this pace. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that is your pace. For those of you who have metronome, this is at metronome mark 88. So I'll count us in for 4 and you then begin on 1 and then I'll join you on the second beat. So let's just have this as an experiment. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. You know, I'm experimenting a little bit with what's possible in video lessons, and this is part of that experiment. So I would like you to give me some feedback at the end of this. So write about it in the comment section whether you thought this was possible for you to play it like that. So I'm counting us in a whole bar of 4 counts. So you start on your own and down bow right here. That's your starting note. I'm starting on the second beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, as I've asked before, do please write about it in the comment section so I can alter my videos maybe if that is necessary. If you've really enjoyed it, I would like to know that as well. So if it worked for you, please do write about that too. I'm very much looking forward to the next lesson. So thank you for watching and I see you soon. Goodbye.